Your turn to talk.
Oh, well, good morning to everybody. We hope you're having a good Wednesday morning.
Lots of folks are still watching now by the glow of their phone as they sit in the
Yes.
dark in their home this morning.
Look, we did not get power back till like 4 a.m. this morning at our house, and we had every light. And I'm thankful we had all those oil lamps from the wedding, because we had the little oil lamps on each table. We probably had like 12 of them in the shed, so we went and got a few of those out, because they had like the smoke-free paraffin oil in them, so you could put them in the house. But it was sketchy there for a little while. Pitch dark outside. We had the generator going, just trying to keep everything in the refrigerators from spoiling.
Right.
So thank goodness it wasn't burning up hot though, or freezing cold.
It's going to be one of the two here before long.
Yeah.
Right now, the state of Mississippi is 65,348 without power as we're waking up here. As we look at Noxubee County, 0. Congrats to them. Kemper County has 83 meters. Neshoba, 22. Newton County, 64, right at 6,500. Lauderdale County still at 6,600. And we're at 121 in Clark in these areas here. And the way and let me explain why they say that. With the power company, they always say meters because a home could have two. Like if you've got a shop in your yard and it has a power meter, that would be counted.
Yeah.
Be 2 meters.
Okay.
But roughly in that neighborhood of that many people without power this morning.
Yeah. I'm just thankful that, as far as I know, there wasn't any people hurt or anything.
To my knowledge.
So many, to our knowledge, so many trees down. I mean, humongous trees that have fallen. I think my husband was on his way to work this morning. He said there was a tree had fallen on a house up in Collinsville. So
I saw
on
pictures
Highway
of that.
19, I think, right there by. Used to, I don't know what it is now. If it's that Pearl River place.
Where the sign used to say Genesis.
No, it's on down. It's where Mike Spears Wrecker Service, I think, used to be.
Okay.
So, but yeah, he said it was like a double wide or something that it had just destroyed the one end of it. So hopefully nobody was in there, or if they were, they didn't get injured.
But at the same token, you have to, and the people that are displaced this morning because of all this rain in your house, whatever, you are displaced for months. This does not get fixed quick.
Yeah. Now, I got home yesterday. We were at my mother's while the weather was really bad. And then me and my son went on home, and we got home in our camper. The awning that was rolled up and locked had gotten blown off somehow or another. It ripped the awning completely off of the camper. So
we had major shear winds come through with this storm yesterday afternoon. It shook a lot of things. It broke a lot of trees and did damage.
Yeah.
I mentioned this morning. Did you ever think you'd see a tree across Highway 19 there by Marvin's?
Oh, I know. Yeah, my daughter was trying to get home from work, and my husband was too. And she said that it was late all the way across. I mean, traffic was backed way up the highway. So.
I saw a picture of Miss Judy Ainsworth home, which is just where Sam's is on top of the hill. She lives to the right in that subdivision, and her whole driveway was blocked with trees over it. Couldn't get out.
Yeah. It's just, it was everywhere, So.
We were fortunate, and when I started yesterday afternoon, it was still early, and I was going to do a 20-minute update of what lied to the west, and the next thing you know, that turned into a tornado warning, and then it just kept progressively getting worse, and you couldn't get off, and that went on for quite some time.
Yeah.
And then we started having power issues and internet issues the closer it got.
Yeah, we didn't have any internet last night at all at the house, of course, because we didn't have power. We were able to charge our cell phones with the generator on, but yesterday it really concerned me because I think most of the kids had been dropped off already at home, but there was a school bus when all this mess was going on in the road down here by my mother's house that had to back up because I think there was a power line down or something, so they had to take an alternate. Route.
I saw several comments about kids trying to get off the bus during that rain when it was coming down in sheets.
I was real concerned because, parents, some of them were still at work. I don't know.
And where that come from, and everybody's guilty of this, that storm was supposed to hit later. It was not supposed to be that quick. It picked up speed when it started coming. I just kept being everything I read, slow, slow, slow. And they had put it really from till 9 o'clock last night. And by 5:30, it was all over.
Yeah. Yes. But we're just thankful that it wasn't as, worse than it was.
Yeah.
that was bad enough.
It was.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning, we're going to have an announcement that we're going to make, something big for us, and I hope you'll join us. We'll talk about that bright and early tomorrow.
Yes.
What's the future's looking bright? Is that the word? Yeah. So, yeah. So join us in the morning as we'll get to share that. I look at our friends over here at EMEPA. They're down to 3,500 people without power. They have been hustling. That number is at about 12,000 last night. And the breakdown, 68 in Kemper, a little less than 3,000, 2944 in Lauderdale, 323 in Newton, and 44 in Jasper counties. They're hard at it working there. And I'll do this because we got a lot of folks that watch from Neshoba County. Let's look at, whoa, boy, look at this number here as we go back. Let me go back over here to show this. This is Central Electric. They're sitting at 5,600 roughly there in Neshoba County. So there's a lot of Neshoba Countyans right now without makeup.
Without makeup?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say without power, and you said makeup. I think I'd have to get me a candle out.
It is. I don't care who you are. It's boy, when that water goes, you really don't want to go to work then.
Yeah.
And a lot of these, as we learned during that ice storm, that these water departments don't have backup.
We filled our bathtub up last night.
Oh, that's
just
smart.
to be on the safe side, just in case, because we didn't know how long the power was going to be out, and we wanted to be able to, flush our toilets or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I learned that lesson too.
Yeah, and I got my shower early too. I walked around with a wet head for a long time.
That's okay though.
Yeah.
You were clean should
That's
something
right.
come up.
We got all of our baths out of the way. So.
But as this went into, as it come across, we had a tornado warning in Newton County right up to that Lauderdale County line. And it was one of those thunderstorms that could produce a tornado. And then about 8 miles out before it reached Lauderdale County, the intensity started getting worse and worse. And when it got near Chambersville and the Piggly Wiggly, it got worse and worse and then come on through. There's numerous stuff downtown. Meridian was on a curfew last night.
Really?
Yeah. 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. this morning.
I mean, I know it was not like in our area, as far as I know, a tornado, but it really, in some of the areas, it's just like a straight path where trees were down in a straight path, And
that's those sheer
so
winds.
So kind of, yeah.
And, whenever we follow weather like that, and again, we got bumped from a 3 to a 4 there at that last minute. They saw that it was going to be worse. Pay attention to that. Sheer winds can be just as dangerous as a tornado. Be weather ready. Now, we've got great weather all the way through Sunday afternoon. Sunshine every day. A slight chance of rain on Sunday night, and then we got rain on Monday when you go back to work. But we've got enough for you to get out and pick up. It's going to be like a limb picking up weekend, I feel.
Yeah, we still have limbs everywhere. I'm telling you, my heart like stopped yesterday. I got home, and one of our little outside dogs, his dog house was completely flipped over upside down.
Now, he wasn't in it, was he?
Well, I was afraid I was fixing to go find him in it. It scared me to death, and he was not there, thank goodness. But
well, that is good.
It scared me. I mean, I thought, because poor old Reese outside.
I've known old Reese a long time.
I know.
That puppy dog couldn't handle that. Let me see here. Today, it was 1976. And I think every man has probably hummed this song at one point in his life. Wow. Mickey Gilley broke out and had a #1 song on this date in 76 with, what's your, this is going to throw off.
You're going to ask me.
Name one song that Mickey Gilley sang.
I don't even know.
This is a test.
I don't know. I can't off the top of my head.
Urban Cowboy, does nothing from that ring a bell? He was huge on that.
Yeah.
Gilley's. 1976, Don't the Girls Get Prettier at Closing Time?
Who sung Like a Rhinestone Cowboy?
That would have been Glenn Campbell.
Okay, yeah.
Wrong person there.
Wrong person, sorry.
Mo Bandy, I bumped into him one time, and he said he was walking down the street. He was getting ready for a show, and he said this couple stopped him and told him just how much they loved him. And then they said, "We'll see you later, Mickey," and walked off.
Oh, really?
He said, "You want to make you feel about that high?" And people do get stars confused there.
Yeah.
Let's see, it was 1992. I know you know this. Aaron Tippin had a #1 song. He was just getting started. I remember being at the radio station, and Aaron Tippin walks in, and he's got this very itty-bitty, yellow, ugly Toyota car. I think he still got it. He may have named her Betsy, but he was making his round. He was number one on this date with Ain't Nothing Wrong with the Radio.
I was just humming that in my head. Yeah.
Y'all, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. It's a few people that you bump into in your life. Aaron Tippin is everything that he seems to be. You won't talk about it. Good guy. He ranks right up there with Charlie Daniels.
I don't hear much about him anymore, though.
He's
is he not? Is he kind of out of the spotlight?
Oh yeah, you know how Nashville is. If you're not the young star, they kind of put you to the side there. But what a great guy.
Yeah,
So-
I used to love listening to him. And-
Tammy Wynette passed away on this date back in '88.
okay.
And then it'd be a few years later, they go with a shovel and remove her to find out what happened.
Oh gosh.
But and I don't think that was ever settled there. So that's a few things that happened on this day. Nothing big. This was kind of a quiet day in history. Nothing that makes you go, "Oh, I didn't know that." Just Tammy passed away from Birmingham, Alabama. How's that make you feel?
What?
Were you a big
passed-
Tammy fan?
I used to listen to Tammy Wynette. I mean, I listened to all
Well, I mean,
the
she had
old
so much
country
in common
stars.
with you being a haircutting chick from the South. And you can sing a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Let's say some good mornings to a few folks that are up and stirring there, Candace.
Okay. Well, good morning to Miss Patricia Boswell. She's watching us this morning. Mr. Elmer Talbert. Good morning. Watching from Columbus, Mississippi.
Salute to y'all up there. Guy Coughlin, I hadn't seen you in forever, Guy. How are you doing today? Hope everything's good in your world there. Pat Banks is up going at 'em.
Donna Roseman's watching, and Eddie Bradford. Good morning to you.
Tajetta up in the Bailey area today. And Eddie Bradford says, how are things in Bailey? I used to work with the volunteer fire department there. I assume trees down, but nothing major. But if anybody knows anything different, post that.
Yeah. Let's see. Miss Linda Jane Lunsford. She's watching. Good morning to you. And Tajetta, she said all's good there.
All right, yeah. We had somebody from Twitch say howdy. How are y'all doing there?
Hey.
Don't quite know the name. I don't know how to say those when because they don't. In other platforms, you don't use your name, so I never know how to address somebody.
Okay. They asked, was Candace homecoming queen?
Were you ever a homecoming queen?
No. I was in the homecoming court in college and once in junior high. No.
You were
I wasn't.
cheerleader.
Yeah, I was
that kind of-
cheerleader. I did get, I won one of the beauty reviews in college, but, I mean, no, I was never homecoming queen.
Yeah, I never
Good
was.
friend of mine was.
Oh, was she?
Yeah.
You still stay in contact with her?
Some, a lot of our friends, everybody just kind of has their own lives. And
Well, and let me ask this: as we done a
So busy.
story on this last week, as a kid, go back in your mind when you were in high school. Isn't that a big deal for a young lady to be a part of the homecoming court or to be homecoming queen? Isn't that
yeah, it would be a really big deal.
Almost like the Miss America type thing of that's what you want to do in high school, be a part of that.
Well, I mean,
am I close?
It's a big deal. When you're in high school, it is a big deal.
And the reason is I bring that up is that story that we shared last week of that Oklahoma college that is doing away that and making it to where two men can be the king and queen. And I scratch my head and go, that's not fair to women.
Yeah.
Everything that the United States has done trying to be equal and fair to women who couldn't vote at one time, all this stuff is getting thrown out the window. They're not having a fair chance at sports anymore because somebody thought they could get away with it. I have issue with that.
Yeah, I kind of take issue with it too. I think if they want to have a category for, I don't know if they're considered transgender.
I don't either.
I don't know.
I don't.
I think if they want to have an alternate category for that, they could do that. But I like traditional.
I'm with
I'm
you on
more
that.
traditional when it comes to all that. So, anyway,
I second
not
that.
downing you, whatever, but I just don't. I don't know. I
Yeah.
wouldn't choose that, but
Brandy Young says, "Happy Wednesday from a cute redhead Yorkie and this mom. Glad y'all are safe." Terry Carter, how are you this morning?
let's see.
See, Alice Peden also watching there. Thank you there.
Yeah, Chad Acton. Good morning to you.
Let's see here. Parts of Zero Community still have no power this morning. And let's see here. We're down to Donna Sue. What's Donna Sue up to?
Let's see. Where are we at?
We're right.
I've
See
done
my
lost
little
thing.
little
Oh,
arrow.
okay. Chad Acton said that his oldest son, Branson Acton, is 22 today.
So how old does
Happy
that make?
birthday,
Let's really
Branson.
get into this story of what broke there. How old is Chad?
Yeah.
Chad, I remember you when you were young. Or does that mean I'm old?
I don't. We might be a little bit close to.
Because I wanted to talk. Dylan Ray turned 26. So
My oldest is 25. I got two stepson that's 25 and a daughter that's 25. They went to school together, and
how time flies.
then I have a 20. It's gonna be 23.
I might have to get an arithmetic calendar. Dylan may be getting ready to turn 27. Oh,
Goodness.
my Lord.
Time just flies right on by.
Let's see. Linda Jane said our dog Dixie was sitting next to the storm shelter looking toward the house, waiting for me to open the door. She knows when it's bad weather.
Yeah, dogs do.
They pattern you.
My little dog, I thought, because we put her in the laundry room when we're not there. It's a open area, and I just knew I was gonna come home. She was gonna be ate a hole through the door.
Right.
Or something, because she is scared of bad weather, but she can't hear and she can't see good anymore. So we've had her for almost 18 years.
Ooh, that's a long time. Nick Dowell is up. Good morning to you, Nick. Also, and I don't know what you, Armand, maybe his name says, can you get a congrats? His sister Liz had a newborn baby.
It looks like armadillo.
Armadillo.
I don't know.
Had a newborn baby boy. I read that wrong. Henry. Congratulations to y'all. I hope it's nothing like a new baby in a family.
I know.
Grandparents go nuts. Daddies and mamas are proud.
Sweet. Little babies. They're so sweet.
You can't help it there.
Miss Barbara Vick's watching, and Miss Gail Gafford, she's watching. And he said it's like the animal, armadillo.
Okay, well, cool. Now I know. As we get this morning started, a young lady was by my house yesterday afternoon. It happened to be this young lady here, Amanda, that runs Snowden and Company Real Estate. She's got a lot of agents that work for her. And what are they doing? They're trying to get you nice homes. And she stressed again with me yesterday, if you've got a home in this area that is going up for sale, before you put it on the market, talk to her. This is a time to where building materials are extremely high.
Yes, they are.
And so it's cheaper to buy a home. And if you're getting ready to sell one, get the most for it. And, of course, Amanda can help you there. And it's like finding a dream home, because as one home sells, you're going to look for another home, or you're building one. They even just built one for someone. So if you're to that point and go, hey, could you help me here? She can find the land and have someone build it for you.
That's right.
A lot goes on with that.
And if you do have a home, like we said the other day, and you don't know what your home is worth, you need to give them a call, because you don't want to shortchange yourself. You could have a lot of equity in that home that you could put towards a new home.
It does.
You know.
Professionally quality photos as I stumble around there. Precise attention to detail. And they're going to help you out. Those contracts, I don't know the last time anybody bought a home or went to the bank and borrowed some money, but it's about yay thick there.
Yeah.
And they sort through all that and explain to you what each document is, what you're getting into, making sure that, like if you're a hillbilly like me, and you all of a sudden move into a subdivision and they tell you that you can't park a trailer in your yard all of a sudden, that can happen. Don't be caught off guard by something like that.
Right. There's a lot of, they have a lot of rules. And
yes, they do.
You know.
Lauderdale County, Kemper, Newton, Neshoba, Clark County, that's where they specialize. Now, they'll be open today until 5 o'clock. They can have an appointment on Saturday to show you something. Or, now don't forget, they'll be closed on Sunday, but appointment on Saturdays. They'll be there through 5. Located right up in the North Hills area there on Poplar Springs Drive. See Amanda. You'll be glad you did. Almost sitting down with family members is what it's kind of like there.
And look their website up. They have go to Facebook, look up their website. They have pictures of homes, so you can look at them beforehand. You know, you might want to find something before you give them a call.
Right. As we start this morning, tragedy strikes in Mississippi again yesterday. A plane crash in Hattiesburg leaves 4 people dead this morning. This happened right before the storm hit. This was right around lunchtime yesterday. There's no word, because they just hadn't released any information at this point. This is from CNN. Plane went down. Could it have been tied into the weather? Possibly. We don't know. But 4 people lost their lives.
Yeah, because the weather started yesterday morning.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
That first tornado warning fired off at Jackson, Mississippi, where they were starting across the state line. But when it got to Jackson, one fired off, and it just kept.
Yeah, it was what, like 8:39?
Yeah.
It was early.
Yeah, because we were.
We were on the air.
Yeah, sure were. So thoughts for the family that are there in Hattiesburg that lost family members. Now, if you're sitting back and you think, well, my grandparents got a bunch of junk in their house, always go through junk before you chunk it.
Right.
Here's why. The concert that never happened, we're going back to January 1953, Canton, Ohio. Hank Williams is in a car headed there to do a show. He dies, never makes it. There's people in the auditorium waiting on Hank.
Oh, goodness.
He didn't make it.
You know, that had to be
Right.
horrible.
Well, what happened to all the posters from the show? Well, probably most were thrown in the garbage. There's only 3 known in existence. One of the 3 sold yesterday, and take a wild guess what that went for.
What?
$150,000 for the concert poster from the show that never happened.
My goodness.
They say it was in pretty good shape, and it was found in Ohio in a barn up on a shelf. Just, you know how people tack it up to cover up a hole in a barn?
Oh, yeah.
And that's where it come from.
You ever watch those picker shows?
Yeah.
I love watching that. And they find all kind of stuff. And people just don't know what they have. They don't know what it's worth.
Right.
A lot of people do think it's just a bunch of junk. You know, I remember I love antiques, like antique furniture. And my grandmother used to say it was just old junk, old stuff, you know. She'd grown up with that kind of furniture, you know. But anyway, I love it.
$150,000 for a poster, though. Now, also,
that'd be a surprise.
The Richie Valens show, you know, the Big Bopper, that plane crash went down. That show that they were going to a few years ago sold for $125,000.
Goodness.
Richie Valens, a whole bunch of them on there. Buddy Holly, there was 3 of them on there. That's the plane that Waylon Jennings did not get on that night. Little country music back there for you.
I'll see stuff all the time, though, that this worth, like old pictures that we used to have in our house or something. I had some in my bedroom one time, like of a little girl holding a rabbit or something, and it'll be like high dollar now. Old stuff that we probably long ago threw away.
You know, another show that's interesting if you ever get a chance to watch, just because people have junk in their house, the Antiques Roadshow, where they'll set up somewhere and people will drag their crap up in there, and you'll look at it and think, that ain't worth nothing. It'd be worth $25,000.
I know. I tell you what's worth a lot, and if y'all have one, you know these cast iron big pots, the big round pots that have the little feet on them, you know.
Right.
What do you call those?
The claw.
They have a handle, you know. A lot of people put them over fires and all this.
I know what you're.
You know what I'm talking.
Yeah.
Those things are worth a lot of money. Do not, if you have one of those, don't throw it away. Yes.
Now, or skillets, the old black skillets.
Cast iron skillets cost a lot of money too. Don't throw that stuff away till you figure out like what it's
you
worth.
got.
Right. It's worth a lot of money. It really is.
Dig through the pile. Dig through the pile. This happened yesterday, and there becomes a point to where you're eating and you don't want to be bothered by people. And this is the story here.
I saw this. I watched the video.
You know, they're eating and they get surrounded. And am I right on this that the protesters had guns also?
Oh yeah, they look like they had AR-15s.
And so he whips out his pistol. He's eating and he comes out with his pistol.
So this is a person that was eating, because I thought he was the owner of the restaurant.
I thought he was eating. I might be wrong here. Moment Louisville Diner pulls handgun of arm.
Okay, it was a person dining in there. I don't know why I thought it was the owner of the restaurant. But yeah, people, I mean, you know, I would hope that nobody would get hurt in something like this.
But we're afraid what will eventually happen with all of this. I mean, I don't care who you are, what race you are. If you're sitting down eating, you want to be bothered by people.
I don't know why people have to do that kind of mess. I mean, you see it all the time. People just screaming in people's faces while they're sitting there trying to enjoy their meal.
You know, you go back to Sarah Huckabee. Where was that place that she went to eat and they refused to serve her and just caused a big scene?
Yeah. But that's not a peaceful protest right there.
No, that is not.
At all. And if that was to happen like in Florida, I mean, they said that people like that are going to go to jail. You know,
yeah, they ain't putting up with it.
Not peaceful protesting, and you, I don't know.
So that's a headline this morning, and we bring up these things just so you'll be cautious of what you're doing, where you go. If you're sitting out eating somewhere, just watch your surroundings. Right. Do not be caught up in something that is growing around you, and you just keep sitting there. It's best to just ease on out, be peaceful, and go away from it, because it ain't worth losing your life over an argument.
Yeah, because people are unstable. You don't know what they're going to do. You know.
And, you know, there's several states right now that are trying to pass it where you don't even have to get a concealed permit to carry anymore. So, and I think that's a good thing. Not everybody's going to agree with me on that, but I'm a true American gun-toting, supporting type person that believes in that right to do that. And I think you are too.
Yeah. I mean, I think people should have that right. So
I always
especially when you got people walking up to you with one strapped on them, hollering at you, screaming in your face, and you're just sitting there trying to enjoy a meal. I mean, I don't see how that's legal.
It shouldn't be.
Because that's disturbing the peace.
Well, you don't remember the couple in St. Louis? That was a restricted neighborhood, a private neighborhood, gated community.
Yeah.
You have people that break past that. I would think that would be against the law to go in there, number one.
Yeah.
They have a gun, didn't shoot anybody, and then they're arrested for protecting their property. I never understood that.
I didn't either. I didn't see why they should,
Has that even been settled
and they
yet?
were 2 lawyers, right?
Yeah. Has that been settled?
I thought they lost their right to have a gun now. They don't have, like, the right to own one.
That's when it's time to move. Just let them out of the town. I might be wrong, but I don't want to live in a city that does that.
Right.
And you keep seeing more and more people bail from California, people from New York. Do you remember the story we done a couple weeks back of the father that spoke up in New York of the 43,000? He's moved to Florida. He said, no.
Well, people are sick of this mess. I mean, you can only push people so far, and they're going to start pushing back, so that's what I see happening now.
Yeah.
People are just sick of it. I mean, you have run it in the ground, all this mess, just screaming at people, and they're just tired of it. They're going to start taking action.
I wanted to say we had somebody that was watching on YouTube, JJ, and he got to talking about his faith. And if I'm reading this right, and you tell me, said he didn't believe in God for a long time, and he spoke to God in his head. And am I right in saying that his mother, he feels that she was saved?
I'd have to read it.
He'd lived. He's from England.
Okay.
Watches us every day. We appreciate that, and he believes in God now. That is great. Glad that
Yes.
you are a believer there. God can do wonderful things with you.
Yes, he can.
Faith alone is where you go.
That's right. I mean, I know, I don't know if you've seen some people that we know from Kemper County. She and her husband just had a motorcycle accident.
Yeah.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. She yesterday posted some pictures of what
And so
they
I
were
hadn't seen
wearing. Okay, well, posted pictures. They had her husband had, or her leather jacket, leather chaps, her gloves, his too, didn't have a scratch on them. And they had I think they hit another vehicle or something. Something happened, and they had a wreck. And it was a bad one. And they've still not been able to come home. They're in the hospital, wherever they were. I'm not
But
sure
you're
where
saying
they
those
were.
chaps work?
Oh, well, nothing had. She said that God had his hand on them because nothing. I mean, they did have some injuries, but their outfit was not touched. No scratches hardly at all on it.
And I'll just go ahead and say who it is because it's the mouth of the South. There's no other way to say this woman's name. And when I say mouth of the South, probably 3,000 people go, "Oh, you're talking about Betty Lynn."
She's the sweetest thing there. I've done her hair for several years, and
I was 12.
I know their family. They're a good-hearted family. But she was also saying that when they were at the scene of the wreck, that a man came and prayed with them.
Oh, that's sweet.
And that he prayed with them, and then he was just gone, and nobody saw him but them. He's not in any of the pictures. And so, I mean, I just feel like people show up. I mean, I've heard that more than one time where people have shown up at an accident, like someone has shown up, nobody else saw them. I mean, I just feel like it could possibly be an angel that comes and, or somebody that is watching it. I don't know. I mean, I just think it's of God, though, for sure. I think God had his hand on it.
Oh, I'm sure. I remember I was 12 years old. Who remembers DeKalb, Mississippi? When you took a left there at the Superstop, you'd go up a little bit. And there used to be a swimming pool there. And it was a building there. And they used to have dances there. I was 12. I went to a dance. Betty Lynn was there moonwalking when I was 12. That was my first time I met Betty Lynn. She could cut it up. You could hear her over the whole crowd. There was probably 100 people in there, but you could hear Betty Lynn over everybody.
I bet she could cut a rug.
Oh, bless her heart. I talked to her about a year ago, I guess. Time flies. As we turn to things going on, Facebook has upheld the ban on Donald Trump. Here's the headline this morning as we look at this. Their oversight committee upholds this for at least another 6 months until they decide what they're going to do, if they're going to permanently delete it or not. So that's the news this morning. There's another news source reporting that he has been deleted and permanently banned. That's not true. They still hadn't decided. Is there a good chance it's going to happen? Yeah. But that has not officially been said. Now, as we go through more Donald news, here's the headline of him launching his own From the Desk of Donald J. Trump. Now, this website does not do anything other than, here it is, anything at this point other than Donald posting what he wants to, and you can share it to Facebook or to Twitter. Now, I ask you, what are the odds that it will remain on your Facebook page if you share it? I don't know.
Right. It'll probably get blocked or something. So
Here's the website if you want to look at it, and he posts his things, and more is to come from what I understand of this. This is not the end product. It's just a way for you to read what he wants to say. If you're, and some people may not be a fan of Donald Trump that watch, but that's what's going on there.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. I don't think Obama. I don't think Biden. Anybody should be silenced and shut down.
I don't think anybody should be either. Now, unless they're causing harm to somebody, if they're being disruptive as far as like hate speech, like, and I mean hateful. Like, there's a lot of negative people in this world, as we know.
And see, and then the other side is going to say, well, that rally was exactly what that was. And I don't agree with it, but that's their stance on that. And that's where they're getting away from this. But that's
they don't run that in the ground.
Oh, yeah. It's Russia. Somebody concluded. Let's see here. We told you this would most likely happen yesterday, and it is definitely occurring. We don't know whether it will happen or not. Derek Chauvin's lawyers have filed a motion for a new trial due to this picture here.
Yeah.
You cannot have a jury that says, hey, I'm biased on this, and then be seen with a shirt like this later.
Yeah.
Now,
I don't think the outcome's going to be any different.
No. No, as we talked in prison, it's just not going to be good for this man.
Yeah.
Where he goes, it's a grim ending for him. And you just more or less have to call it the way it is.
Right.
Are you up to date on all of this?
I'm not. And the only thing I knew was that Bill Gates and his wife were getting a divorce, and that she was going to be a very rich woman and probably one of the most eligible. I'm
telling you, that woman's getting hotter.
Eligible women,
I'm thinking green would look great on her. $130 billion to be split. Warren Buffett's lawyers who he's hired, 97-year-old guy. What if he has a heart attack during... I don't know. I would want somebody younger to be an attorney. He may be the best out there.
Right.
But here's the headline this morning going on with this. Apparently, his wife approved of him hanging out with his ex-girlfriend once a year for an entire weekend. Boys and girls, can we say kinky?
And even sought her approval to marry Melinda in a bizarre, decades-long arrangement with his wife. It's just weird to me.
Yeah, it's strange. Now his daughter has come out and asked for everybody for privacy while they go through that. Well, that's not going to happen to who your dad is.
Well, I mean, it's hard to be a billionaire and have privacy.
Yeah, every move. You think back, Elvis Presley, any move that man made, it was somebody taking a picture and posting it.
Yeah.
And it did lead to pressure. You can't imagine, like if he wanted to go to an amusement park, he had to rent it, the whole thing to shut it down. It is a different lifestyle that we don't understand. It truly is. But Elvis was a good guy.
I mean, I don't know.
Unlike Bill, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of sketchy stuff about Bill Gates, but, I think everybody deserves privacy when they're trying to go through a divorce. Will they get it? No, like you said, no. But, I mean, people do deserve. That's a hard time. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
That's a hard time. Even if you're getting along, if you have kids, it's still a hard time. I mean, it just is,
What was that Reba song that she done about that? Someone should leave.
Somebody should leave.
Yeah, which
one will it be?
Yeah, he needs the kids and they need me.
Yeah.
Boy, was that? Y'all remember when that came out? That spoke to so many people. And you know what? You turn on a radio now, you're not going to find a new song like that nowhere because country music is gone.
Yeah. Divorce, I mean, it is a hard thing. I'm thankful that me and my ex-husband get along. We've always pretty much got along for the kid. I mean, for everybody. I mean, not that we just did it for the kids, but we just got along. But we know that's not always the circumstances, And I hate that. I hate, for whatever reason, it can be some major reasons or not, but the kids are always stuck in the middle of it.
It is.
And I don't care if they're 10 or they're 25. They're stuck in the middle of it,
And see, and that made me think of something else. I'll go off the reservation here and bring this up. John Snyder, y'all remember him, Bo Duke?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking. Do you remember the Christmas song that he did about the divorce?
No, I don't
where the
think
parents
so.
are divorced and the kid writes a letter to the mom, and he writes a letter to the mom and says, "Hey, I want to make up," and mails it, and then they get back together at the end of the song.
Oh, really?
Pretty cool.
That's
there.
Kind of cute. Look, the armadillo. He said, "I prefer she got the gold mine. She got
I
the
got the
gold mine, and I
shaft."
got the shaft." That's a Jerry Reed song.
Jerry Reed.
I listened to that not long ago. I just laughed. I mean, because he is so fun. I love listening to him.
Jerry Reed
He's
was
the
that.
funniest thing.
Here come Amos Moses. You remember that one?
Well, no, but I mean,
Oh, my gosh.
if I heard it, I probably would. But when you just, when you say just one little line. out of it,
Louisiana Bayou.
Yeah.
What a great song.
But I love listening to Jerry Reed.
Had a lot to
He's
do
a
with
good one.
Elvis. He was such a guitar picker.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And of course, again, there's Smokey and the Bandit. Snowman went down as a legend in the South.
Yep. Good
Let's see here. What's the most kids that you know of any of your friends and family have had? Like a twin. Is that about it?
It's pretty much a twin. I've seen people that have had triplets, but that's about it.
All right. This,
As far
I
as
can't
personally
I
seeing.
can't imagine. And they've done that TV show. What was it, that woman, the Goslings? How many kids did they have?
Kate plus 8.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
After they got
John
rid of
and Kate plus 8. I don't know.
When we're getting rid of John, we're just going to scratch his name out of the title of this. This lady has 9 kids now.
Goodness.
They thought she was only going to have 7. She has 9. Can you imagine getting up in the middle of the night trying to get out 9 bottles?
Well, when you think you're gonna have 7 and they say it's 9, I mean, I don't know if you'd be shocked or not, because you could say, "What's 2 more?"
Can you imagine having to name 9 kids at once?
Goodness, I can't imagine carrying 9 kids.
Well,
Oh, my
it had to
goodness.
be. She had to be on bed rest. I just don't see how you could not.
Yeah.
At some point, be.
Goodness,
How do you function?
I don't know. I don't know how you function after that. Goodness, having one at a time for me was enough. Ugh.
Yeah, and,
Even twins, I don't see how people do it. You get one, unless you get them both, and you're lucky, and you get them both asleep at the same time.
Right.
I'd have one asleep and one awake.
And again, I go back to no man should ever be allowed in the delivery room. That is like a no-no. He should wait outside like they used to do.
Why?
Because I like to faint it up in there, and they forced me in there, and it was awful. Like I slept on the couch for like a year and had nightmares. I don't ever want to see nothing like that again. Whoa, it was. Oh, I'm telling you, it was bad.
Oh goodness.
I'd rather, I don't drink, but Lord, that'd drive me to drinking.
When I had Alden, my last child, I had my 2 daughters, one on each side of me, coaching me. Come on, Mama. They were sweet as they could be.
Yeah.
My youngest daughter said, "This is enough birth control for me." She said, "I'm never having kids."
It will, oh boy. Let's take a minute and talk about our friends here. And they take care of a lot of folks when it comes to plumbing. And that's Master Flow Plumbing. They take care of you from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, all the way to the Mississippi Gulf Coast. If you've got a problem, talk to them. Why? Because they're going to save you money. That's what it is. They got 36 years of experience. We've got some new pictures that we're going to be loading this week of some recent work that they've done of a different twist so you can see the different angles here. This is one of those where they had to go under a house and tunnel to find what the problem was, fix it, and they carry all that dirt back in with a 5-gallon bucket and pack it just like it was before they started. I'll tell you, that's work.
Oh, yeah.
From front yards, getting your entire plumbing redone, to, well, maybe getting the lines repaired. If you got somebody that run over something, or a brand new, these after years do get brittle. If you've got the old metal pipes, they will rust in two. If you've been in your home for, 20, 30 years, that will happen. They can fix it for you. If you've got a problem here, it's one of the worst things that can happen is a slab that leaks.
Oh, yeah. That'd be a mess.
Because it will rust in two if you've got the older homes that have that pipe in the concrete. It won't turn out good for you. As simple as getting a sink replaced, or a faucet, or a shower handle that no longer works. I've known people that go with cold showers for weeks because they don't call to get that fixed.
I know. It
Don't
is
suffer.
a mess.
Don't suffer. If you've got a backed up pipe, talk to them about it. They'll clean it out. $125 charge. And again, they're not going to charge you to drive there. It's $125, period. And they're going to do a 6-month warranty, a 60-day warranty there to take care of you. See them all. Water heaters, toilets, whatever the case is, they've got it. Master Flow Plumbing, licensed and insured. 36 years, they can fix anything plumbing. Promise you there.
I wonder how many people have had to call people for kids that flush something down the toilet.
Oh, I bet he could probably tell you some stories of things that they've dug out.
I bet.
And I've heard of people losing wedding bands and things of that
yeah.
nature down toilets, and then trying to dig down in there and get it out.
Golly, that would be awful.
Sometimes you just got to reach in and go for it. That's all I'm going to say. Just rumors that I've heard.
Yeah.
This is where people take advantage of the government with so much money right now going out. This guy fleeced the American taxpayers who he got. $600,000 of relief money. He went and bought a farm. Then he went ahead and bought him a convertible and then took a spa trip. This gentleman right here. Shame, shame, shame. We all know your name now.
So I wonder what they're going to do about it.
I'm curious what they're going to do with all these, because there's been numerous people. We saw a pastor do that a few weeks ago.
Bought a bunch of homes or cars or something.
What'd you call this animal here?
It's an alpaca. It looks like a llama.
What do you do with that kind of animal?
I don't know if they're good for producing some kind of something that you can market. I don't know. I don't know. You know how kind of like people have emus and they have like emu oil that they can sell and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if these have some kind of a...
Is it they're used for clothing? Is that right?
Alpacas with their fur.
Well, maybe so.
I guess alpaca fur.
It looks
it's
like
used for clothing, yeah.
What was that show? Was it Evan Almighty? Is that what it was? Where the guy that done all the Pet Detective show to
Jim
where
Carrey.
Jim Carrey, didn't he do a show to where? No, that's the other guy that I'm thinking of. That to where God told him to build an ark.
Oh yeah,
Evan Almighty.
You're talking about the guy from The Office.
Yeah, wasn't it Evan Almighty or something like?
No.
What was the name of that show?
I can't. Not Evan, I don't think.
But it was.
But I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
It
he
was
grew
a-
this. He started growing a beard like Noah.
And he was a member of Congress.
Yeah.
That was if you hadn't watched that as a good family show,
It
y'all
is a
need to
cute
watch
baby.
that.
That
But it was
was.
they were loading one of those on the ark.
Yeah,
Evan Almighty.
he said Evan Almighty. Yeah, Steve Carell. I didn't know it was Evan. I didn't think it was Evan Almighty. But it is a good movie. But these alpacas, now I don't know about them, but isn't it llamas that will spit at you?
Yeah, and that's what they were. And that's what I was getting at because they looked so much alike. They were loading it on the ark, and it spit on the black girl that was the comedian that was so funny that was his assistant.
I know who you're talking about. But I cannot. Y'all, I'm horrible with names.
But she was great in that show. I got to.
She's always funny though.
And who was the one that played the senator who was the bad guy in that show? Was that the guy off of Roseanne? I think it was the guy.
Tom Arnold?
No, not Tom Arnold. The other one, Dan, the one that played Dan. Whatever his name is.
I know who you're talking about.
I think
just
that's
can't
who
think
played
of
it.
John Goodman. Yeah, thank God for y'all. We don't ever know the names of anything. Thank you.
But that was truly a good show. If you want to feel good, watch that show. And and I'll tell you while we're on the subject of something good, what's that song that was recorded by the Christian artist? I Can Only Imagine.
Yes.
Have you watched that movie?
No, I haven't.
Has Dennis Quaid in it? It'll floor you. It's so good.
And it's called I Can Only Imagine?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to see that.
True story of the troubles that he went through to write, and he wrote that song and spent every dollar he had, and then it hit. Just it'll bring a tear to your eye. It's that good.
Yeah.
So you got homework.
Yeah,
You need to
I'm gonna
watch
have to
that.
make me a list of things I need to watch. I would love to watch that though. I'd like my son to watch it with me, my little one.
And it is one of those that you could do. And seriously, if y'all have never watched that before, grab that somewhere and watch that. Do it this weekend. It's well worth it there. Bad things. You ever heard the term bad things happen to bad people? And we don't know the whole story here, but here it is. The guy that was that kidnapped that little girl years ago and hid her in her bunker. He's been in prison for 15 years. He was sentenced to 421 years. He's found dead.
I think I remember that.
There he is.
Was this the one where he had a woman helping him?
I don't remember if he had an accomplice or not.
Because there's been several cases where there was somebody helping them. Maybe they had like a spouse or a girlfriend or something, and they knew about it, and I mean, they deserve just as much as the
right.
I mean.
Now, you and I talked about this before we went on the air, and if somebody knows the answer to this question, I'd like to know. Someone who gets 421 years sentence, and Candace said, well, why is that? And I said, I thought I'd heard they do that in case somebody invents some way to keep you alive that you would still be in jail if you were given extra time. So is there truth to that?
See, I don't know. I don't know if or maybe if they down the sentence and it wouldn't be enough to let them out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I don't know why they do that.
If you've got the answer, I'd love to know. So, but that's the way that is. He has deceased in prison. They have not released as to what happened to him, But
Yeah.
there you go. And somebody said it is to prove a point of what can be done to you, that long sentence. That may be it.
Yeah.
We told you about Adam Sandler going in the IHOP, and then the waitress realizes after he's gone, she just turned down Adam Sandler to eat, and he has finally spoken. He took to Twitter, and she turned him away, told him it'd be a 30-minute wait, and he left. I think he had his daughter with him or something like that. And he went to Twitter, and this is what he had to say.
For the record, I only left the IHOP because the nice woman told me that the all-you-could-eat deal did not apply to milkshakes.
That's pretty neat that he did answer her. That he
Yeah.
seems like one of those people that would be a nice person to sit down to. Like Morgan.
He is funny. It's a different kind of funny, but he's funny.
Like Morgan Freeman. I've seen him many times. I watched him as a kid on the Electric Company, saw him in movies, and then when I finally got to meet him, I was not let down. That man is such a super nice guy.
I love listening to him. He makes all kind of sense about what he talks about all the time. I've never watched him do an interview and went, why did he say that? Or why, he's just a spot on type person.
I was with him about
Seems
8.
like a real honest,
He is.
speaks his mind, but he's to the point.
But I'd been around him probably that day 8 or 9 hours. And I know the man was tired. I mean, he'd been hard at it. And I was eating lunch with him, and it was probably over the course of the meal, 15 people stopped and said, hey, Morgan, would you mind signing this? And he stopped every time, thanked them for watching his movies. And not everybody does that. There's a lot of bad attitude actors out there, but we give thumbs up to Morgan, and he just happens to be from Mississippi as well.
Doesn't he have like a restaurant or something like that?
Ground Zero.
Okay.
And you can see that if y'all remember the country singer Steve Azar, I Don't Have to Be Me Till Monday, his video, Waiting on Joe, was filmed in his restaurant.
Okay.
So if you want to go back and look at that, it's out there on YouTube.
Now, where is that? Is it
Mississippi Delta.
Okay.
You can go up to, I think it's Greenwood. It's Greenwood or Greenville. I was there. It's where Doe's Restaurant is. And if you've never heard of Doe's Restaurant, what an experience. It's been grandfathered. You walk through the kitchen to sit down to eat, and it's a steak that big.
Yeah. He's a great actor, though. Anything I've ever seen him in, he just blows it out of the water. He's great. So
it is. So something good to watch there. This is a good thing for the family. The New York cop that was hit and run by the lady that done the podcast that said all those ugly words about cops before she killed him, they have honorarily, I think is the best way to word this, granted him, moved him up to a detective as he's laid to rest for his family there. We do think of his family that's horrible. And think about it, that's his kids that he leaves behind.
Because and they're so small. You wonder if they really even understand exactly what's going on, It's just sad to me.
And and a lot of times these are just stories that you hear that happen way off, but this really puts it in perspective. That's what you live. This is why you get up. This is why you go to work. This is why you have people that you work with that are over you, that are mean to you, that you take it, because you've got somebody at home like this that you're trying to provide for and take care of. That's why you take things when you shouldn't, because you love somebody else.
But I can't imagine being the spouse to, you think about them. They got a partner helping them, and then all of a sudden it's theirs to take care of all by themselves, And a lot of times people don't have life insurance.
Yeah.
They're forced to, sell their homes. They don't have mortgage insurance. I mean, I know it's reality.
Well, the couple that were the teenage couple that was going to the prom that were killed in the accident, they've raised on a GoFundMe $20,000 to bury them.
Yeah.
Same thing. Their family couldn't afford it.
Yes.
I mean, a funeral is going to cost you
It's a lot of money.
$10K or better at this point.
Right. It is. It's a lot of money.
And that's not
10 years ago when my father died, it was a lot of money.
Yeah.
I think he had like a $15,000 burial policy. It took every bit of that.
Yes, it does.
I mean, it just did, and I don't know. I feel for these families, though. I
keep
really
them
do.
in your prayers. Let's see. Kay Johnson said this in Greenville, Mississippi. I knew I'd been there, but what a time that was! It was fun up there. If you ever get a chance, the Blues Club, Ground Zero. If you get a chance to drop in there. Kim Kardashian says, "No, I don't do this." She's denying that she's been importing stolen ancient Roman sculptures. although it had her name on it. More to come on that, I'm sure, but that's in the headlines this morning. Let's see here. The CDC, what are they doing? This you don't know what to believe on these stories about all of these shots. Here's another headline. A mother of 4 dies from a brain clot after receiving the Johnson & Johnson shot.
Yeah. And, you know, I mean, I've heard of somebody in the last couple of weeks that had a brain blood clot.
Had they done the shot thing?
Yeah, they'd had their vaccine, was not the Johnson & Johnson. It was a different one.
Right.
But, and that could just be coincidence. Might not be because of the shot, but it wasn't Johnson & Johnson.
Right.
So.
Anyway, that's headlines out there, and it's your choice if you want to take it or not. They're urging everybody to take it.
Yeah.
The military, the Marines, I think there's only like 40% of them that have taken a shot, period. And they're looking into maybe forcing them now because they're a member of the military to take it.
I don't think anybody needs to be forced.
No, this is America.
Yeah. I just don't believe they do. I mean, and I don't think you should be able to fire somebody because they don't take it.
Yeah.
I think that's wrong.
Yeah, there's probably on down the road there's going to be lawsuits that come out of this of what has been done to Americans and forced upon them without their will. Later on, it ain't happening right now because we're in the middle of something called woke that I don't get, but there'll be more to come out of this. A lady that vanished has been found in Utah. She's been there for 6 months, hiding out in a tent. Exactly my thoughts.
Well, I wonder why. What's she hiding from?
She's hiding from something. Something went wrong.
Yeah.
An odd story there for you, but if you wanted to know if she was found or not, she has been. Inflation. Let's talk about, and this does affect you of what's going on. The U.S. economy, every time they give away free money to somebody, somewhere this is going to circle back. Lumber, 250% increase right now. If you're trying to build a house, build a deer stand, or buy one piece of wood, you know what I'm talking about. Here's the headline here. Coffee is up 8%, bread's up 11%, gas.
Yeah.
22% hike at the pump right now.
Well, they said that they're hard to find drivers for the gas trucks, right?
Yeah. Bacon, look at this, up 11%.
Bacon was already high. I don't know if y'all bought bacon lately. That was already climbing on up there.
Coffee, and you know, I can't handle this. Y'all can't be messing with my coffee. 8% hike so far on this. Milk is up only 3%, which sounds good compared to some of this. Let's get down here. Corn.
You know what surprises me that I don't see up there?
What's that?
I don't think I do. Scroll back up. Toilet paper. Where's toilet paper?
You can't buy it. That's why it's not on the list. Coming to a list near you. And look, I'm going to head and predict this. Y'all hang on because you need to do something right here. Do you realize the starving deer at 44%, what's going to happen across the deep south here if deer cannot get their corn?
Goodness.
And I don't know what a bag of corn is going for right now. I need to ask because I don't know. But corn up 44%.
Well, I don't need electricity going up anymore. My bill's already high enough at home. 3%. It's still going up. Any is not good for me.
Yeah.
But at least it's not 40%.
And
you know.
the big picture here that you got to think of is those families that, especially our elderly families that only get X amount a month. It's not going to gain any. They're not going to get any more. They don't get any more when the rest of this goes up. And what do? And there are some elderly that don't have kids or family members that could come to their rescue if they needed something extra.
Right.
That's the big concern. Because I don't care who you are, you're looking at me right now. One day, you're going to be old. That is coming. It's
Yeah.
going to happen. You're going to get wrinkles, and you're not going to be able to move around as good as you do now. And you'll be on a limited income. I don't care who you are. That happens to all of us.
Yeah. I mean, you just don't think about stuff when you're younger, you know, and you don't stuff didn't start hitting home till you get older. If you have parents, like I know a lot of people have parents that helped them out a lot through life.
Right.
When they're gone,
Ain't anybody going to help
you
you.
better get your big boy pants on.
Yeah. Get them drawers out because you're going to need them.
Yeah.
Bob Smith said that the Ground Zero Club is in Clarksdale. I remember going back and forth in between the two
I
towns.
thought it was something. I kept in my mind. I kept trying to think. I thought it started with a C. So that
Because Morgan used to have an upscale restaurant also, and he sold that one or it closed down and still has Ground Zero. So,
Okay.
I don't even know how to address this next one here. Have you ever been insulted?
Yeah, many times. Many times.
With the pandemic, people have resorted to hiring people to bring them their food because they want to get out. Okay, say that you ordered a big old bag of food from McDonald's.
Yeah.
And the delivery guy inside your bag drops a weight loss program in there. How would you feel about that?
I don't know. I probably would laugh about
Now,
it.
in his defense, there's no way he knew what the lady looked like before he got there.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming he was dropping this into everybody's bag and not picking on her because we don't know that she was overweight, number one, to begin with.
Yeah.
But I guess that could rattle your cage there if somebody dropped that in there and says, hey, come on in. And
Good Nutrition Club. Yeah.
hello.
Oh, well.
So that's
I'd probably laugh about it, but
not everybody
not
feels
everybody
that way.
would laugh about it, though.
They take it a little serious there.
Well, a lot of people take a lot of stuff
Too
way
far.
overboard serious. You can't be funny anymore. You can't even like mention anything without somebody criticizing it. So anyway, I don't know.
I'm going to ask this because I don't know.
What?
Can you still play Cowboys and Indians?
I
Or has
don't
that
know.
been banned?
Look, I'm gonna keep on letting my kids do what they want. As long as it's appropriate.
Right.
I mean, I just think that some stuff's way overboard now. People have just really got.
I get you. Look, if you're
Crazy.
trying to get some great vegetables, let's tell you about a place here. And this is going to be out at the Red Barn Plant and Produce. Highway 19 South is where you'll find right past you go through the red light on the right-hand side of the road. You'll see a bunch of flowers and things. Well, they got some good food hiding up there amongst all that also. As you go in, you'll find your squash and maybe you want some peppers. They've got all that kind of stuff as well. Straight from the garden, you get some okra, some peas. Check it out. See Charlie. He'll help you there. Peaches are coming. As we go deeper into this, we get into the plants and flowers that hang around your house. Is it accent? Is that the word that I'm doing? They accent your home? Is that it?
Yeah, they do. Accent your yard.
One day
give
I'm
the
gonna set
curb
up-
appeal.
I'm going to watch that Home and Garden channel one day and
You
pick
need
up some
to.
new words. But Charlie can help you there. He knows all of this. 938-6439 if you want to call ahead and ask Charlie if he has a particular plant for you. Good folks, they're right here in the community, the Red Barn Plant and Produce, right next to the Red Barn fireworks stand.
Yeah, it's right past Dollar General, right on the right.
Correct. You can't miss them. Drop in today. You'll meet a friend and you'll keep doing business with him. They have a lot of local stuff right there. Red Barn Plant and Produce. If I get all my P's tongue twisted there, see him today. He'll help you and you'll get exactly what you're looking for there. A short drive and you'll make a friend on top of it there.
I might need to go visit because I had a lot of my plants took a beating yesterday. Like some of them look horrible now.
Got removed, so to speak.
Oh yeah, and my pots on the deck, they just look like they're just hanging. Horrible.
Do you remember the story? We done this a while back to where the mother was like an assistant principal and her daughter was running for homecoming queen, and they hacked it and faked the thing to where the daughter would win it.
I think I do recall that. I do.
Boy, they done passed a sentence on this. The teen faces, and again, it didn't say she got it. She's facing 16 years in jail for being charged as an adult for hacking the contest.
Didn't the mother?
The mother was deeply.
Didn't she put some stuff out there about the other contestants?
I think
or something?
so.
I think is what it was.
But
She like made them look bad or something.
that's
the other
possible.
contestants. Yeah, I think that's wrong. Yeah, obviously that's wrong.
But 16 years for hacking. You don't think of just. I know things like that have happened as a joke through the
Right.
years, but she was trying to win it. But 16 years, that's pretty strong on that. Yet you can go to Seattle or you can go to Portland and burn a building and nothing happened to you. Not saying what she done was right.
Right. Some
Doing it-
parents get way too involved and stuff.
Yeah.
Like there was even parents several years back that were bullying another teenage girl. This mother was bullying, and the teenage girl committed suicide. And then she was in trouble for that. I mean, people just go way too far about stuff.
Well, we've got a Mississippi story for you here making national headlines today. And as we pull this up, Mississippi Sheriff's Deputy and his New Jersey friend face extradition to the Netherlands after being hired as hitmen to kill a struggling farmer over unpaid debt. Wow. So this is going on now. And I hadn't even had a chance to read the whole story to find out everything. I caught that at the last second we went on. Hattiesburg is where he was from.
Oh, my goodness.
He's been arrested, and Hattiesburg making the news there.
Huh.
Hitman for hire.
That is.
Coming on back to the state of Mississippi. That we'll
read
share
more into that.
Yeah, we'll share that story here in a minute. And again, I just saw that right before we went on, and I grabbed it, and doggone.
I wonder what kind of debt would you have? Unpaid farmer debt.
Well, that's
Goodness
probably
gracious.
like a cartel that they invent things, and then if you don't pay, they take you out. And they hired him to go do it.
That's just scary. That's hitting too close to home, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It just shows you goes everywhere that old evil does.
Oh yeah.
That's a few of the stories that are happening this morning. Again, don't forget to tune in the morning. We'll have our big news that we'll share of what's coming. It's great. It's big.
It is.
So join us in the morning as we pass along that information. Are we forgetting anything today?
Is the food drive? Have we heard anything about that?
Let's check that and
Because
see.
I had somebody ask me yesterday if they were doing the food drive today. For those of you who don't know what that is, they have it at the Ag Center, and the Sheriff's Department helps to put that on and give out food to the community for people who do want to come and get food. They didn't have it last week, correct?
You're right. It's there now.
Okay.
At the Ag Center right now, and food is being distributed, and that was posted 30 minutes ago.
Okay.
So you still got time to get there.
Right. So they are having it. If you know somebody that needs some food, if you need some food, get in line out there and you can get the food until it runs out. So.
And it usually starts at 11. It started early today, which is fine, but it's a great thing. It helps a lot of needy people out during these times that we've got
and for people
right now.
who don't, I mean, it'd be a great time. Some people might have had stuff in their refrigerators ruined, or stuff like that. Help people out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's check this before we get out this morning. Now, there's numerous schools that are out this morning due to power outages. And by now, you know that, and that's why I hadn't made a big deal out of it, because it's after 8 o'clock. You know that your kids aren't going. Let's look at power outages where we are at this moment and see if there's any differences. As we go to EMEPA, we're down to 3,256 people without power as they continue to work hard to get this back on, which is a big difference from last night at 5:30, 12,000 plus without. So they've made a big dent in this.
And we're so thankful to them because, like, especially working at night where you can't see good and there's down power lines, that's just a very dangerous job. And we're thankful that they get out there and do that for us, because ours came on like 4 a.m., so they must have been working all night.
And I appreciate AMEPA because I called
Yes.
at all hours of the night and go, hey, what's going on down there?
Yeah.
Can y'all give me an update? So
Yes.
thank you, Scotty Ray and Candace. As we travel through this, today is
What?
Wednesday.
Wednesday, yes.
I had to
it's
think for a
Wednesday.
second.
Halfway through the week.
And
Hump day.
I waited to the late. You've got a different hairstyle going on today.
I do.
Yesterday we saw
well, I kind of
ponytail.
have straightened it. I was, you never know what I'm going to walk in with. So, I don't know. It was quick this morning. I was in a hurry. I'm always in a hurry, though. But I got a lot of sleep last night because we went to bed early because there wasn't no television, there wasn't no internet.
And with you saying this, I'll say this. Y'all remember the old days when you didn't have cable and there was a lot of things in this world that didn't. People went
3
to bed.
channels.
Yeah, people went to bed at dark.
Yeah.
It's because there wasn't nothing to do.
Yeah, we had 3 channels. And we had to have the, I don't know about you, but we had to have tinfoil on our antenna.
Yes.
To make it come in good, those 3 channels.
And I remember when I was 9, our TV broke, and they waited 2 years. I guess we couldn't afford it as a kid for a new TV. We went 2 years without a TV.
We didn't have a remote. We got up and changed the channel.
That's right. Yeah, people didn't steal TVs back then because that console TV weighed 250 pounds.
Yeah, it did. But yeah, well, I remember getting up early on Saturday morning watching cartoons because that's when it came on. You couldn't just pull them up anytime you wanted.
You know, and I did have something, and I'll say this before we go. I did have something stolen at some point. We owned a piece of property in Marion, Mississippi, and it had a chain link fence around an acre, 8 foot high. Somebody broke in there. This was about 2 years ago. Broke in there, and your gas tank, LP gas tank. What do those weigh?
A lot, probably.
I would think
Yeah.
500 pounds, or maybe more. I don't know. I'd have to ask. But they toted that by hand out of there, out of an acre of land, and had to have been a quarter mile down the road to load it because you couldn't back in there. That thief really wanted that. They deserved it more than I needed it. So wherever you are using my gas tank from 2 years ago, congratulations.
Goodness.
All right, we'll be
couldn't
back in the
stand a
morning. Anything that you want to say?
No, I just hope everybody stays safe today because there's still a lot of debris on the roads. And And everybody have a blessed day, stay positive, and halfway through the week.
All right, I'm not
Give our
sure if
announcement tomorrow.
East Mississippi Hub, who does a lot of volunteer work, we'll check with them and see what they're doing with the community. They do a lot of things to help out people in need. We'll check and see what they've got going on this week also. So that's going to wrap up our morning, and we'll be back bright and early tomorrow.
Yes.
Thank y'all for dropping by.
Thank you.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by